Okie dokie. That looks like we're going. Right number, there we are. That looks like we're live. Just to get chat up. We should be good to go. Right, as I forget how I get chat up, but I think it is. There it is. There we go. And I have chat, I have Final Fantasy, I have OBS. Everything is running. So, welcome back to Sorin's journey for the first stream into Heavensward. Oh yeah, last time we went through the finale of the A Realm Reborn patch quests. And yeah, Crystal Braves betrayed the Scions. Minfilia, Vanguard, Y'shtola, Alphinaud, Ida, Minfilia are all missing in action. Rising Stones is blocked off to us, and things are generally not looking too good. But Tataru made it out, Alphinaud made it out, and Sorin's here, so that'd be something we can do. Let's get into this. Oh, wait, this is voice acted, isn't it? My audio is still in Japanese. I'm fairly certain. Yes, it is. It's most definitely still in Japanese. The dawn's light will shine.
そのためにも最初の一歩を踏み出さねばならないが、あらぬ疑いをかけられたままではできることも少ない。イシュガルドの地で再起をというタタルの言葉にも一理あるとは思う。
I wish I could open up the menu in a cutscene without skipping the cutscene.
私はウルダハに戻って。
焦りは禁物ですぞ、アルフィノ殿。
オルシュファン殿。
ウルダハの動乱の真意を解明し、身の潔白を明らかにしたいのは理解できます。しかし、このような苦境にあればこそ、焦りは禁物というもの。
I feel awkward now for not having the language in the right setting for like the opening cutscene of the expansion.
私はもう一人ではないんだ。
朗報を持ってきましたぞ。我がフォルタン家当主エドモンド・フォルタン伯爵がお三方の後見人となることを申し出てくださりましてな。これによりお三方はイシュガルド四大名家の一つ、フォルタン家の庇護下に置かれた正式な客人としてコートに入ることが可能となりました。まずは本家の屋敷を拠点に情報を集めながら今後の方針を固めるといいでしょう。
Not quite sure how to say things and start with Sorin as well with the...
わかりました。ではご好意に甘えさせていただきます。
当主はアイメリク総長と同様に話のわかるお方だ。きっとお前にもいい対応をしてくださるだろ
う。行こう。千年の戦を続ける聖教の都、コート・イシュガルドへ。暁の思いを無にしないために、私たちの戦いをもう一度始めるために。
はいです。
This cuts. Oh no, it doesn't cut straight to the thing. I can't immediately change it back to English. There we go. I wish I could save the language settings per character. That would make things much easier. Yeah. Ooh. I must go on ahead and speak with the Count. Fear not, however, for everything has been arranged. The sentries at the gates of judgment have been informed of our decision. You need but state your names and they will allow you to pass. My manservant shall be waiting for you at the city gates, ready to escort you to our manor where we shall meet again. Until then. Thank you, Lord Haurchefant. This is a step in the right direction, right? Not at all the circumstances under which I had hoped to visit Ishgard for the first time, but so be it. They say the winds can be rather fierce on the steps of faith. Be sure to wrap up before we go. I think, Miss Tataru, you should probably be telling Alphinaud that more than me. I suppose I should probably put my hat on before I head out. I do know it can get quite cold out there. Let's go, Keela. Wonder if I have any right to be riding around with the maelstrom barding now. I know I'm definitely not welcome in Ul'dah, but I haven't heard much about what our reputation is like in the other city-states. Last time I left here was... things have been going so well. It was... we just saved Ishgard and... how did it fall apart so quickly? Excuse me, sir. Wards of House Fortune? Ah, yes, you may pass. Into Ishgard. And whatever awaits us beyond. It is a bit chilly.
At a friend's behest. Heroes once celebrated as saviors of Eorzea, brought low through treachery, their names blackened with royal blood. With memories of the lost and dreams of redemption, with hope yet in their hearts, they came.
This is it. Ishgard.
To Ishgard, shining city on the mount, overlooking the dominion of Kurthus. A great and proud nation, devoted to Halone, the Fury, ruled by Thordan VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. The last bastion of the faith, her walls ever bristling with the sworn swords and spears of her 4 high houses. A land that after 1,000 years of war had forgotten what it was to be at peace. Through gates long closed, the warrior of light and his companions passed, entering at last a city whose history was written in blood. In the midst of the Dragonsong War they came, 3 weary travelers whose arrival would set in motion great change. Though none knew then how great.
The Memoirs of Count Edmond and de Forton. Heavensward. Hey. This is Ishgard. All the other city-states, it reminds me most of Ul'dah, but I think that stops at the stone walls. From afar, the spires did not seem so tall. Gods, I feel like a child in a giant's castle. Excuse me, sir. Greetings, Master Sherwood. On behalf of House Fortons, I bid you welcome to Ishgard. My lord humbly requests your presence at his residence in the Pillars. If you all would come with me. The Pillars? This way, I guess. Upper levels of the city, I guess. Wow. That is some view. The city looked big from the outside, but it's huge once you're actually inside it. And it still goes higher. Lord Haurchefant. Is it just me, or is the air up here different? You can almost smell the wealth and power. God, this makes me feel faint. Look upon the splendor of these heights. One would little suspect the ruin wrought by the wyverns below. The warrior of light and his brave companions walking the streets of Ishgard at last. What a glorious sight! I cannot tell you how long I have waited for this day. Allow me to present you my family home, Forton's Manor. I should like nothing more than to show you around, but everyone is gathered to receive you. Come, my friends, introductions must be made. Introductions, yeah. Alphinaud, when did you get a chance to get changed?
My lord, I have returned with the Scions.
I hope your journey was not too taxing.
Is this... Lord?
I, Count Edmond de Forton, do bid you welcome. As wards of House Forton, you shall be afforded every courtesy. My home is your home.
Why, thank you, sir.
My companions and I are deeply honored, Count Forton.
The honor is mine, Master Alphinaud. Consider it an expression of our gratitude for your service to Ishgard.
Forgive me, my lord, but are you not concerned? To accept foreign guests at such a juncture, especially ones with our reputation.
Do not worry yourself on my account. 'Tis true that Ishgard's first thought has ever been the war effort, hence the closing of our borders. Yet it is in troubled times most of all that men should seek allies, don't you think? Granted, my decision will have raised eyebrows in the vault and in the halls of the other high houses. But so long as you continue with your altruistic endeavors, I doubt my honored peers will feel moved to voice their concerns.
Then there is naught to fear. Though our numbers are much reduced, we are no less determined to carry on our work.
Full glad am I to hear it. But before you return to your labors, why not take a tour of the city? You would do well, I think, to acquaint yourselves with your new surroundings. After all, you may be here for some time.
That does sound like a good idea. Let's say hello to everyone. Hello there, sir. Greetings, Master Sherwood. How may I be of assistance? What do you do here? Me? Why, I am but a humble steward sworn to House Fort Holmes. I doubt you wish to hear the minutiae of my duties. As simply put, at the behest of my Lord the Count, I manage household affairs. I have served at his pleasure for more than 50 years. By the Fury's grace, I shall serve for 50 more. I'll leave you to it then, sir. Hello, sir. They'll be whispering about you soon, if they aren't already. The mysterious guests of House Fort Holmes, or some such. Hello to you as well, sir. Greetings, Scion, and welcome. We are honoured by your presence. For all their reputation, the Ishgardians seem pretty friendly. Or is House Fort Holmes the exception? Though our friends in House Fort Holmes have been generous enough to extend us their protection, we must take care not to impose too much on their hospitality. It is only proper that we learn about our new home, so that we might become more self-sufficient. It'll take a while to learn the lay of the land, but learn it we must. Then there's the markets and taverns. We'll need to know where to shop and where to hear small talk. It would seem a tour of the city is indeed in order. I thank you for your counsel, my lord. My companions, I shall of course do as you suggest. Very good. Then my manservant shall accompany you. He will be able to answer any questions you might have. Ah, but I grow forgetful in my dotage. There is something I must give you ere we part. Their documentation is in order, I trust? Yes, my lord. Documentation? This is, oh. Wait. Those documents identify you as wards of House Fort Holmes. Given that our borders have remained closed for decades, many of my countrymen are unaccustomed to treating with foreigners. Should anyone happen to question your presence here, it may prove necessary to remind them that you remain under the protection of House Fort Holmes. But let us hope it shall not come to that. Rest assured that we shall do our utmost to avoid any situation which might compel us to invoke your name. Sorin? Tataru? The city awaits. Let's go! Thank you again, Lord Fort Holmes. So, I suppose it's Count Fort Holmes, isn't it? A little bit warmer in the city. I can take my hat off again. I'm glad I have a map. I confess, it had long been a dream of mine to visit Ishgard. My childish self, her towers, bridges, and cobbled streets seemed akin to something from a fairy tale, and I've never quite outgrown the fantasy. As this is your first time in our fair city, pray permit me to show you to the Hoplon, from whence we may gaze upon the splendour of the Holy Vault. Though all other sights pale in comparison, 'tis only meet that you see it first. I shall then show you around a jeweled croisier, where you may purchase all manner of goods and services before descending to Foundation's Aphrodite Plaza, if there are no questions. I guess not. Speaking of Aphrodite Plaza, I should probably start attuning to these shards, shouldn't I? We're gonna be here a while, so having that quick transport is probably going to be helpful. That's the vault, I'm guessing. That is a big building. They're awfully fond of statues, aren't they? Hey, what if I took up sculpting? I bet you can make a fortune in a place like this, and we need every gil we can get. The Holy Vault, where Archbishop Thordan VII rules from on high. Oh, this is like their, well, I guess it's not really a palace, but seat of government. The Hoplon, so named for the bronze great shield borne by our nation's patron deity, is the largest plaza in Ishgard. The magnificent cathedral to the north is, of course, the Holy Vault. The vault is both Ishgard's seat of government and the residence of the Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Oh. Begging your pardon, the statues to the south, are they perchance Fortin's famed Knights 12? This is a story I'm not familiar with. Very good, Master Alphinaud. They are the fathers of Ishgard, the brave knights who joined with King Thordan I to put down Nidhogg and found this great nation. Ours is a city rich in history and tradition, and there is much you can learn by exploring the pillars. Time permitting, of course. Now then, if you would follow me to the jeweled croisier, I shall introduce you to Mistress Elise, our Master of the Markets. Oh, I did something similar when I first arrived in Limsa. Probably worthwhile checking in with the markets. Another shard. Get linked up to that. I do wonder what we'll be doing after all this, though. Alphinaud said we don't have any intention to stop our work, but how do we carry on? Just the three of us. We're already imposing enough as it is on Count Fortones that I wouldn't want to ask for much more help than we're already getting. I present to you Mistress Elise. Mayhaps you would like to say a few words. If you want to buy something, let me do the talking. I could haggle for Ulda. Not a single scorched stone in sight. To watch these merchants going about their business, one would think the dragons had never attacked. Mistress Elise? Well, you're clearly not locals or travelling peddlers, which makes you all wards of House Fortones, I think is the right term. Ah, wards of House Fortones. How very interesting. Count Edmond has granted us leave to remain in Ishgard for as long as we wish, which may be some time. Accordingly, we will have need of sundry goods, hence our desire to make your acquaintance. That is, of course, assuming you are content to accept the custom of foreigners. Should you be uncomfortable? Young sir, we do not discriminate in matters of money. If you have coin to spend, who are we to refuse it? Weapons, armour, accoutrements, medicine, materials, whatever you desire, it can be found in the croisier. Our merchants will be more than happy to accommodate you, as you shall soon see. Oh, that's certainly helpful. Our next destination is the Aphrodite Plaza in Foundation, if everyone is ready. Can't ignore an Aphrodite Plaza. I'll probably need to be coming back here fairly frequently, whatever we're doing. Suppose unless we're spending enough time here that I don't really leave in the first place. But, well, I guess we'll see. Alphinaud sounds like he has something planned for what we're to do. There's another shard. Yeah. Alphinaud's right. The city don't... Is he okay up there? Can I help in any way, or... let me know if you need a healer. Okay. I wouldn't have thought that Knight would be doing construction work in his armor. That seems a little... I don't know, inefficient? You ever get the funny tingling feeling when you attune to an Aphrodite, or is it just me? No. It is just me. Alphinaud? Oh, I've already attuned myself to the Aphrodite. I trust you have as well. Oh, no, actually, yeah, I'll do that now then. I thought we were going to get an explanation first, but I guess if everyone else is attuned already. Here we go. And here we have the Foundation's Aphrodite Plaza. If you have yet to attune to the Aphrodite, it would be wise to do so now. I think I'm okay, sir. None of those are equipment I can make too much use of. Oh. You don't think it's anything serious, do you? Tingling, I mean. There couldn't be something wrong with my anima, could there? I wouldn't... I probably should know that, shouldn't I? No, I can't really go and ask Alka-Zolka at a time like this, can I? If you've attuned to the Aphrodite, then let's move on. I'm eager to see more of the city. As for our next destination, mayhap we should decide together. What else can be found nearby? The Skysteel Manufactory stands to the west. There our engineers conceive and manufacture weapons for use against the dragons. The holy stables where chocobos are trained for war also lie in that direction. To the north and east can be found a congregation of our knights most heavenly, while to the south and east, well, it would be best if you avoided that area. And why is that? I fear our knights may not be able to ensure your safety in the lowest levels, Master Alphinaud. Hold your nose when you pass the broom, little lord. A delicate flower like you is like to wilt in our fumes. Hello? You misjudge me, sir, for I am no lord, but a humble traveller. Oh, come to see the sights, have ye? Take a turn down to Hoplon and gawp at the statues. Well, if you've a mind to learn how to better half live, come and have a drink at Forgotten Night, if your nursemaid'll let ye. My humblest apologies, Master Alphinaud. Pray pay that drunken lout no mind. Oh, but I must. It would not do to refuse such a heartfelt invitation. Yes, I simply must see this forgotten knight for myself. I trust you see the wisdom in this, Sorin. There are few sources of information more abundant than a bustling local hostelry. And not that I expect to hear any news of our missing comrades just yet. Nevertheless, you can say what we might learn of recent events. That certainly sounds like an idea. And I'm coming too! Oh. I guess we're off to the Forgotten Knight then. Excuse me. That's another shard attuned to. Won't be that many more in the city, I don't imagine. This looks like a pretty nice place. Homely. Once more, I must urge you to reconsider. There are several gentlemen who appear less than pleased by our presence. Yes, I've got a good feeling about this place. Mayhap one drink would be... No, I mustn't. Should you even be drinking Alphinaud? I never did learn what the drinking age is in Eorzea. Must say, this is rather unusual. Not just one, but a whole party of fresh new faces in my tavern. We but recently arrived in Ishgard and are eager to acquaint ourselves with our more notable establishments, Master... Gibberlon. Just Gibberlon will do. And I'm flattered you think so highly of my establishment. Can't promise it'll live up to your expectations, but if it's decent food and drink you're after, you could do much worse. Judging by the number of customers I see, I suspect your fare is rather more than decent. Speaking of your clientele, I could not help but note a difference between those who frequent the upper and lower floors. Spotted that, did ye? Aye, up here you'll find peddlers, porters, off-duty knights and so forth, dropping in on their way to or from somewhere else. Regulars maybe, but not locals. Folks from the Broom, they tend to congregate downstairs, where we offer a menu more suited to their tastes. Cheaper meals, stronger spirits, all quality mind, but not the sort of stuff I'd recommend to yourselves. You speak of the lowest levels, yes? Why do they call them the Broom, if I may ask? Because when the weather's foul and the Broom rules in thick, it's the poor sods living at the bottom who have to deal with it. I see. And it's not just the weather. When the wyverns broke through the wards and started tearing up the city, it was the Broom that got the worst of it, while the pillars enjoyed the protection of the high houses and the temple knights. More than a few people are still sore about that mind, which is why, considering your present company, I'd recommend you keep your wits about you if you mean to go below, and something sharp in your boot just to be sure. I shall take your words to heart, sir. Master Alphinaud, I think it would be best if we return to Fort Holmes Manor. You go on without me. I'm staying for a drink or two. Miss Tataru, I'm afraid that is out of the question. My Lord the Count would never forgive me if I abandoned one of his charges in such a place. Least of all a maiden. What are you up to, Tataru? Look around, Alphinaud. This tavern is full of people whose business regularly takes them beyond the gates of judgment. With friends like that, I could practically live here and wait for the newest gossip to come to me. Indeed, but will you be safe here on your own? Oh, please. Do you know how often I looked after the waking sands and the rising stones by myself? If I had a gill for every unwelcome caller I've driven away, I'd be rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'll be fine. Not that I doubt the lady's knack for fending off unwanted advances, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone lay an unwelcome hand on a patron in my establishment. That settles it then. Tataru, Sorin and I shall return to the manor for now. Contact me by link pearl if you require assistance. I will. Okay, well, I guess you seem right at home here, Miss Tataru. Hello, sir. You're kind of... You okay, Mr.? Don't you worry, Sorin. If there's any news of our friends, I'll find it. I'm not sure you'll find much in there, Starter. So, back to the manor. That would be the Lost Vigil. And for Tom? Tell us then, Master Alphinaud, does Ishgard meet with your expectations? That which I imagined pales in comparison to the reality. I felt the weight of 1,000 years of history of every step I took. And when those steps took me past the scars left by the wyverns and Foundation, I understood how easily that history could end in tragedy. The attack was devastating, the casualties unspeakable. The wyverns did not discriminate. Unarmed men and women, even children were given no quarter. Sir Aymerk has ordered his knights to strengthen our defences, and each house has been called upon to lend what support it can. There is much to be done. Oh, excuse me. Yet alas, able-bodied men and women are in short supply. Mayhap we could be of assistance, my lord. After all you have done for us, we would welcome any opportunity to repay your kindness. Of course. Happy to help. That is a most generous offer, Master Alphinaud. You are guests in my home, to whom I have extended my hospitality without obligation, let or lien. Nevertheless, Ishgard's need is great, and if you are willing to aid our cause, I cannot well refuse. Good. What would you ask of us? From what I have heard, you are an intelligent and persuasive young man. And such qualities may prove most useful to us in our efforts to secure provisions from foreign sources, identifying trustworthy suppliers, brokering contracts, and so on. As for you, Master Sherwood, I could ask for no one better than a storied veteran such as yourself, a man with the capacity to act swiftly and decisively when needed, to aid Artorial and Emmanuel in their duties. I beg your pardon? I am more than capable of carrying out my duty by myself. I have no need of our honoured guest's assistance. Now, be reasonable, brother. What manner of fool would say no when a famous hero offered to do his work? Hold your tongues! By the Fury, the two of you will conduct yourselves with dignity befitting your station, and show Master Sherwood the respect he deserves. This is the man who slew Gaius van Baelsar and some half-dozen primals beside. He is not here to steal your glory or serve as your errand boy. Thank you, sir? If you can pardon their impropriety, Master Sherwood, I should be much obliged if you would lend my sons a helping hand. Of course, sir. My thanks. Fury willing, they may even learn something from you. I will do my best to be a positive influence, I guess. It would seem that we shall not want for employment over the coming days, though that was never in doubt. Our host's initial reluctance to accept our offer of aid was solely for appearance's sake. In truth, he is glad of this opportunity to put us to work. By granting us patronage, House Four Toms has taken a tremendous risk. Until we demonstrate our worth to Ishgard at large, the Count will face considerable opposition from his peers in matters great and small. And so he would have us publicly serve Ishgard, while simultaneously keeping his sons in check. It is an arrangement we may benefit from in unexpected ways, and my own duties may feasibly bring me into contact with people who know something of our missing comrades. And as you go about helping our two lords with their various responsibilities, you will inevitably make new acquaintances in Ishgard, mayhap even new allies. Yes, the more I think on it, the more confident I am that by furthering their goals, we shall further our own. What level is 130? So this is actually not helpful gear for me to take. Just take the money. I have only just arrived, so I would like to see around for a bit what else there is in Ishgard. It's probably not a good idea to just throw myself straight into work. Is this the quest that gives you the tour? Hello, sir. I take it by your garb you are not from here, am I right? The sights of our city must be quite a spectacle. It is a place rich with history, a story for every brick that paves our streets or frames our hearths and homes. There is much to learn of Ishgard, and I suppose I can teach you a thing or two. If you care to listen to this old man's tales, pray meet me at St. Renate's Forum. Okay, sir. Wouldn't do much harm to learn a bit more about the city. Sir? I just wanted to go home to Falcon's Nest, but now I fear what I'll return to. Ah, so you've come to partake of my company, eh? Then let me start with the great statue which stands before you here. This is Saint Renate, a dragoon of great renown said to have wielded Gaebolg. According to legend, a dragon slew her beloved, and naught but its blood could atone for what she lost. After much searching, she confronted the beast, and that would be the last time she wielded a lance. Upon exacting her revenge, they say she cast it aside on the ground where the dragon was felled, taking up the cloth in its place. From then on, she devoted her life to uplifting the poor and downtrodden. I dare say there has never been a man or woman so selfless as she in our history, and so the Ark of the Humble was constructed, that we should never forget her sacrifices. It's perhaps worth mentioning that we of Ishgard take great pride in the works of masonry adorning our streets. You will come to find figures of great esteem and respect immortalized in some fashion at nearly every turn. Now then, let us move on to St. Valorant's Forum. I shall await you there. That's the one the Forgotten Knight is on, isn't it? Ah, yes, there he is. So, that just damage into wyvern attack? This is, or rather was, the statue of St. Valorant, an Azure Dragoon of ages past who once drove off the great worm Nidhogg. Surely you've heard of the Azure Dragoon, chosen by the Eye to lead Ishgard's dragoons in the fight against the Dravanian horde. But alas, much like this one, a number of statues in our fair capital have been defaced during a recent attack. Not that we could ever forget in whose name they were erected, mind you. In fact, one could say these disfigurements are like a badge of honour, earned from a clash with our enemy. And quite remarkable, wouldn't you agree? History being made of history, I'd say. I'm afraid that is all I have to tell you of our dear city, but that glimmer in your eye tells me you wish to know more. And pray speak with Outriglain at St. Remonaud's Cathedral. I have no doubt he can regale you with another tale of Ishgard's history. I am struggling to try and remember how to pronounce Ishgardian names. Remonaud. Oh, the cathedral's the one on the other side of the pillars. I might as well take this while I'm in the area to attune to the remaining Ethernet shards. Oh, I missed one. I've missed the one that's down in the broom, haven't I? There it is. I'll have to stop down there at some point. And over to the cathedral. This is certainly an impressive building. You need not... I need not speak, for the Fury can hear the whispers of my... Yes, sir. I'll be quiet, I guess. Excuse me, sir. Greetings, friend. Halone's blessings be upon you. Ah, you wish to know more of Ishgard's history. It is not often travelers come seeking such knowledge. The Holy See of Ishgard is home to myriad patron saints, for which many places are named. In fact, this cathedral was named for the first archbishop to oversee the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. They are a testament to the unshakable will of our people, to our unity in the battle against the Dravanian horde. I realize there is much of our people you do not know, and we would not force our views upon you. Rather, we ask you not decry our pursuit of our destiny, the righteous path we walk by the grace of Halone, our truest savior. Don't know if any of these are particularly helpful to me. Probably the durability drop. Well, thank you for the information, sir. There was one building I passed that I was a little... I gotta say I'm curious about. No one's mentioned it to me before. Oh, it wasn't pointed out during the tour. This... Excuse me, ma'am. What building is this? The ever-tightening grip of this unnatural winter has proven far more than a nuisance for many in my field. The stars can tell us little if their message is forever hidden behind a veil of storm clouds. The stars, you say? Yeah, you can't really see many from here. That was right. Lady Lucia mentioned quite a bit about like the Dragon Star, and I wonder if this is where... Hello, sir. Greetings and welcome to Aphanium Astrologicum. Perhaps you are drawn by fate to this place of learning, or perhaps you wish to know more of fate itself. I guess I do. Then you are wise to come hither, for in the stars are written the fates of every woman and man on Hydaelyn. It was there in the stars that I read a man would call upon the Aphanium. Aphanium? Yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce that, but I'll go with Aphanium. This very day, a man who had played an important role in my own life. Ah, but my apologies, even the most skilled reader cannot scry a name from the heavens. Would you be so kind as to give me yours, so that I might know who is to be my newest protege? Reading fate in the stars. I've always felt something about the stars. And if this would allow me to predict and avoid something happening like what happened in Uldar, then the power to see fate would... It's not like I can get much learning from Alcazolka while I'm here. My name's Sorin Sherwood, sir. Sorin? Well, I was not expecting that. But what is a name but an attempt by our begetters to wield power over the lives of their sons and daughters? Lives whose paths have already been foretold. In a sense, that is. My name is Janequinard de Durandare, and I am an astrologian for the Holy See. Remember that name, which shall echo forevermore in the annals of Ishgardian history. Well, it will once I put it there. Once we put it there. Well, Lord Janequinard? How do we start? Now, where to begin? I suppose I could consult my divining deck for an answer, but that would be too easy now, wouldn't it? Very well, at the beginning it is. Astrology, or the reading of the stars, is a branch of the ethereological science which originated in distant Charlian. There have been astrologians in Ishgard for thousands of years, but it wasn't until 3 centuries ago when Donald the Younger learned that the movement of the stars could also be used to foresee the movements of the Ravanian horde, that the field became popular. Since then, what was once a single science is bifurcated into two similar, yet ultimately different schools of learning. The Sharlayan school of astrology and the Ishgardian school. The former placing a focus on tapping celestial aether and transforming it into beneficial magics, or astromancy. The latter specializing solely in determining the actions of our dragon enemies to the north. I am a student of the former, the only student of the former here in Ishgard, and have been actively seeking a partner with whom to conduct my research. Let us just say that my fellow astrologians here have been less than approving of my path. But that is simply because they are afraid of what they do not know. Once they do know of how Sharlayan astrology can benefit the sea and its soldiers, they will feel foolish for having ever doubted me. Thus, you will be joining me, will you not? Walking the path that has been laid out before you, instead of stubbornly denying your fate, postponing the inevitable. I mean, I'm not too interested in just predicting dragon movements, but being able to beneficial magics to help others, and the others were all from Sharlayan, right? Maybe this is in some way a connection to the others, wherever they are. I see you wasted no time in making your decision. Like I always say, the stars are never wrong. Alas, even a lifetime of study and training cannot unlock all the secrets written in those stars. Myself, I have been a student of the astromantic arts for more summers than I can count, and I still often misread the signs shown to me in the skies. Though my readings are far more accurate now than they were when I attended the Alphinaud and Sharlayan. Not the Sharlayan, mind you, the colony that once thrived into the Ravanian hinterlands. I can recall my time there like it was but yesterday. The first 6 moons I was not even allowed to touch the deck of 60, let alone conduct a reading with the major arcana. And most of my time was spent in the scriptorium, transcribing old tomes on astrological fundamentals, such as the 6 elemental houses: divine duplicity, class triplicity, house modality and polarity, dignity versus detriment. I abhorred the task and would tirelessly pester my instructors as to when I might actually be granted the opportunity to weave a spell or perform a reading. It wasn't until the end of the 6th moon that I realized all that transcribing had prepared me with the essentials I would need to do those very things. The positions of the celestial bodies within the 6 elemental houses and their relation to the major and minor arcana of the deck of 60, therein lie the secrets to tapping the ethereal power locked in the heavens. And soon, you too will become privy to these secrets. But not this day, no. I would not have you transcribe musty old tomes like I was once forced to do. No, the task I have for you is much more interesting. You see, I'm expecting the arrival of a very important guest. My old mentor from the Studium has agreed to make the journey from the old world to Ishgard and speak with the Holy See regarding the implementation of Sharlayan astrological techniques in city-state defense. Alas, the professor and his party are now fully 7 days late in arriving, and I have begun to worry for their safety. I should be much obliged, therefore, if you would inquire of the other astrologians here at the Alphinaud, if they have heard aught. Just ask around about Wasn't quite how I was expecting to start learning, but... Excuse me, ma'am. Why would Lord Janequinard think I had information on the whereabouts of a handful of unbelievers from across the blood-brine sea? I am an astrologian, not a fortune-teller. I cannot simply look to the stars and scry the location of the Viscount's guests. Unless his guests are dragons, that is. I suppose if anyone knew aught, it would be the observatorium. We here at the Alphinaud are but students dedicated to research. Those with any influence in our field are assigned to the astroscope. Does that mean a return to Camp Dragonhead? And let me guess. The good Lord Janequinard said he saw you in a vision and that the stars told him you were to study Sharlayan astrology with him. Am I close? You must be the hundredth of his little pets to pester me this week alone. I harbour no ill will towards ignorant unbelievers unlucky enough to find themselves caught up in talk of stars and fortunes. But you may tell that sorry excuse for an astrologian, for the umpteenth time, that I have heard naught concerning his imaginary friends from faraway Sharlayan. Just do not tell the Viscount I called him a sorry excuse for an astrologian, alright? I'm starting to have second thoughts about this whole thing. Janequinard is still waiting for word on his missing Sharlayans instead of actually making an effort to find him, is he? Of course he is. Is it any wonder that in nearly 15 years since his return from Charlian, his skill in astromancy has remained unchanged? Any wonder that he has never yet managed to convince a single peer of the value of Charlian school? He's a privileged little sprat who spends more time gazing at the stars in young maidens' eyes than actually trying to read the ones above his head. Alright. You can tell the poor man I just returned from the observatorium. And one night at the communal feasting hall, happened to overhear Chief Astrologian Forelmort speaking with one of his aides regarding Charlian. He was visibly upset, and I wasn't about to risk my career over something I care little about. So I merely put my head down and ate my beet soup. But that is all I know, and you did not hear it from me. The clues seem to be pointing us towards the observatorium. Lord Janequinart? Master Forelmort, and I thought the day could not get any worse. Oh no, I'm not suggesting the meeting you in any way has been unfortunate. It is just, it may not be in our best interests to be seen together as of yet. There are certain people in the sea who do not approve of my studies. Couple that with the fact that you are an outsider and an unbeliever, and, well, people may come to their own conclusions. We must act with caution until we can prove that our intentions are just and for the good of all of Ishgard. So I must ask you to travel to the observatorium alone, and meet me there. Very well, sir. I'll see you at the observatorium, then. I guess even planning to take a bit of time to look around and learn things, I have still ended up getting roped into odd jobs. Maybe meeting someone from Charlian as well will help us find. I suppose we already have Alphinaud. There can't be any harm in learning something new. At the very least, until I'm able to get back to Lim's End. Speak with Alcazolka again. Lord Janequinart? Sorin, allow me to apologize again for not accompanying you here. As for our business with the Chief Astrologian, you may leave the talking to me. Janequinart, I might have known it would be you. Who else would be so indecent as to drag an outsider into this holy place of observation? You've always had an unhealthy obsession with the foreign. That's why you're as worthless to the Athenium now as you were when you returned from that heathen city a decade and a half since. But the stars, they can serve as another ways than merely revealing when the Horde will attack. Their powers can be tapped. The Aether within can be used for... The Aether should be left be. Has history taught you naught about the folly of the Nimians, the Amdapori, the Marquis? Mine uncle, the Charlians have been wielding astromancy for ages without disrupting ethereal bounds. This power, combined with Ishgardian astrology, would be what is needed to turn the tide of this thousand-year conflict. Moreover, I have reason to believe that our masters at the Vault agree, as they have given me their blessing to continue my research. I did not come to trade barbs with you, uncle. Let us save that for another time. I am here because it has come to my attention that you may have information as to the whereabouts of Professor Mace and his party from Charlian. For someone who says he is not here to trade barbs, you have been quite generous in your dealing of them today. If it means you will leave and allow me to return to my work, then I'd be more than happy to let you know what information found its way to my desk just yesterday morn. Serpent Reaver sightings and foul weather prevented the Professor's ship from entering the Strait of Merlefor, where they would have made their way up the Maiden and into Curfus. After detouring around the south of Villebrand, they finally disembarked at Vesper Bay, where they took the land route along the Royal Allegan Sunway to the Black Shroud. It is there, it seems, they lost their way. A lost astrologian. Huh! It is as my morning reading predicted. Dalamud was in detriment in the House of Despire while ascending over the ecliptic. Sorin, you must journey to the Black Shroud and assist Professor Mace. Allow me to introduce you to Quimperane. He is my personal manservant and shall accompany you. Hello, sir. Black Shroud. He is not one for conversation, but his sword arm is amongst the best in all the pillars. He should see you safe if any danger were to befall you, and something tells me danger lurks on the horizon. it always does with me. It is a pleasure to serve you, my lord. I shall make haste to Quarry Mill and await you there. Okay. Quarry Mill. It's not Ul'dah. It's not even Fanlan. It's not in a major city. Quarry Mill should be safe, right? Guess I'll find out soon enough. There's thunder. We just focus right to cover it. Don't draw too much attention to myself. My lord, I have questioned the residents of this hamlet and learned that a party of queerly dressed outsiders passed through not but a bell ago. It should not prove overly difficult to find them now, but before we begin, might I ask a moment of your time? I would not dare utter aught ill of my master, but his recent fixation with finding a protege, I believe it ill-considered. This passion, however pure, has left him with more than one enemy within the astrological community. Lord Haurchefant has seen to this. I fear not only for how his name might be sullied, but for his life. I beg of you, pray do not drag him any further down into this quagmire. Let him quietly dabble in his dream, but let it remain at that, a dream. No good will come of encouraging him. It will only hurt the Viscount and his family. You must remember that while I serve Lord Janequinart, it is his uncle, the Count, who employs me. Now, as for the task at hand, I suggest we find wayward travelers and hurry back to our respective earths. I shall lead. Might I ask you to take the rear and see that none might take us unawares? Sir Quimperine, I'm not really in this for Lord Janequinart, to be honest. I want to see where this power can take me itself. That looks like a problem. Ma'am, are you okay? Grandfather. Sir Quimperine? I guess this is a problem. These are the Charlians we seek, and it appears they have found themselves some trouble. Looks like it. Unhand my grandfather! Ah, feisty. We'll fetch a fine price for that one from the pleasure barge captains. The soul has spoken. Grab the old man. These wizard types carrying him all manner of gemmed baubles and golden trinkets. Up, or I'll toss you to the snakes. You want to see the old man again? You'll leave us the girl. Try anything, and he's dead. Wait! Do we... How quick do you think they can act if we do go? Probably not worth the... Wish I had Alphinaud's planning here. Grandfather's soul crystal. Why would he leave it here, surrendering any power he might have had to free himself from those bandits? Is everything okay, ma'am? Unless you were the one he saw in his reading before he left the old world. But that was more than a moon ago. My grandfather scried from the cards that he would serve as the bridge for countless souls to be passed to another. Might you be that other? Excuse me, ma'am? These men of the forest are careless. Tracking them will be no difficult feat. I shall follow and strike before they have time to regroup in numbers. Ma'am? The stars have spoken and laid their path not before you, but before the adventurer here. That's a soul crystal. You must take the soul of the astrologian and place it near your heart. Listen to the tales of those who walked before you, and know their journeys as you do your own. As for the tools you require and the knowledge needed to wield them, I, Leveva, shall see to those matters. You saw there was no fear in my grandfather's eyes when the bandits took him. This is because he has seen you come to his rescue. Our lives were written in the stars long before we trod upon this land. It is not by chance that you stand here today with the soul of the astrologian in your hand. It is fate. And I'll do it. This sounds like the power I was looking for. So I need to remember how to unlock a new class. I haven't done that. Start with. Put that there. Equip the gear I have, which... Oh no, don't reassign my gear. I need to make a new gear set. Arcana gauge unlocked. Okay, I'm going to quickly move that because I do not like the gauges being there. I like them being down here. I've been a guide in these woods since my 10th name day, yet never have I encountered bandits likes of these. They are not of Twelfthwood. I find it highly unlikely that a sparkling globe will sufficiently protect you from a bandit's blade. Stay back and leave the fighting to me. Oh wait, that's something else I need to do is... I forgot about this. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. I don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Goes here. Here. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. Oh wait, it doesn't. That goes there. Repose goes over here because you nearly never use it. Helios goes there. Draw goes there. I don't think Helios goes there. I think I put something else there. I can't remember what it is. There. Probably doesn't make much sense to other people. That is how my astrologian setup. Miss Leveva? Sorry for the wait. I think I'm ready. Now listen carefully, for we haven't much time. The star globe which you hold is both your sword and shield. It will grant you strength as well as protection. But most important of all, it will grant you insight into the current location of the stars, enabling you to channel the heaven's aether into your body for use in all manner of magics. The better attuned your body becomes with the heavens and their malefic and benefic bodies, the better that aether might be manipulated to bring succor or pain. But as you already know, the star globe is not the only tool an astromancer has at his disposal. Yes, the arcana, or more specifically the 6 major arcana, play a defining role in what type of astrologian you will become. Any layman will tell you that the cards can predict a man's future. This is both true and untrue. It is not the future that the card predicts, but the card influencing the man so that a certain future becomes more attainable. As seeking to tell a man's fortune, you draw a card from your deck. Upon reading the card, you scry that the man will be victorious in a coming battle. What is it that brings the man his victory but aether tapped from one of the lower 6 heavens, granting the man strength, making it all that much easier for him to overcome his enemy? Of course, what card is drawn is linked directly to a target's destiny, as well as yours. Are you the one who will see this man to fortune, or will you lead him to downfall? It all depends on your reading. Normally I would not dare cover so much in the first lesson, but it is my grandfather who has placed his life in your hands, and I am not about to watch him have his throat slit because you cannot tell the face of an arcana from its back. We have 2 seemingly capable soldiers here to take the brunt of the bandits' blows. Allow them to carve a trail of carnage while you convince the stars to nudge the two in a direction favourable to my kin. I understand this must be a lot to digest, but if you are to ever become a capable astrologian, you must believe in the path laid out before you, and in your power to read it, follow it, and ultimately control it. Take some time to acclimate yourself to your new abilities, and let me know when you are ready. Oh, well, let me know when you are ready to begin. I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be, ma'am, and not really wait too long. I see in your eyes that you're ready. Whether that actually makes you ready or not, only time will tell. That time, unfortunately, is something we no longer have in abundance. Let us take to the shadows and find out where these bandits are holding my grandfather. May the stars be our guide. Oh. Hello, Meta. Of course you need to come in to tell me you're clearing GTFO. How are you doing? Right. Let's first screw the bandits. That's how I use the cards, right? Wait a second. That's card. This is a card from my grandfather's deck. He's leaving us a trail to follow. Sorin, its power is now your own. This one is balance. There are 6 major arcana. We must find the other cards. Am I leading the charge? I guess so. I am doing very well. I'm glad I'm just able to stream again after the problems I had last week. Right. Oh, hi Mooney. Yep. Sorin had to get a little acclimated to Ishgard before he could, you know, start a new job. That looks like another card. Oh, hello. I kind of forgot there were just other random enemies here. Let's try that again. Sergeant Dignity with the arrow. More HP, more healing power. Another card at the gate to... I think that's the path clear. More bats. I'm not seeing any more bandits about though. That gives me just even more healing power. Oh, there's the rest of them. That was a lot more than was it the 3 we saw originally? I think there's another card over there. Remember, do you want to... Oh, never mind, they're hitting me first. That's all looking quick. Oh. I accidentally gave myself the card. I kind of forgot for a second that this is like an instance area and the enemies are able to attack me. Do I think even if it was an instance? I kind of forgot I was level 30 again, not level 57, I think. I think I'm going to have to Oh, well, yep, definitely have to fight that bat now. Briand is also probably going to attack me, going for the spire. Oh, I need to see my chat screen. Please do not give me pop-ups telling me I need to update. Yep, there we go. Hello, tree. There it is. That's 5 of the 6 Arcana. Still no sign of... Wait a moment. That's him, isn't it? There it is, the spear. Nearly missed that one. Sir! We're here to help. Deal with the archers first and then focus on the leader. Just like that. Sir Quimperin? Sir, I never did get your name. A Voidsen? That's a... that's a... kinda cute as far as... Oh, okay, maybe that one's not so... That one's not so cute. I mean, as far as Voidsent go. Anyway. Good break. Oh, if she's summoning Voidsent, that's yeah, definitely not something decent people tend to do, right? I was not told there'd be 2 astrologians. Enough of this. Wait, just... So, focus on protecting... We don't need to chase after them. You okay, sir? I am Quimperin, in the employ of Lord Janequinard. I am sent to escort you back to Ishgard. Are you unhurt, my lord? Janequinard, you say? And where is my former student? His constant pestering is one of the reasons I agreed to make the long trip from the old world. I see none but Quimperin in this adventure. I too have seen no other. Just like you didn't see those bandits until our knives were our arses. But that is of no matter. It was all as the stars had foretold. If you say so, sir. Yes, I saw this adventure long before even setting foot on this accursed continent, when the Arcana whispered and told me I would find a worthy successor for my soul crystal. And having witnessed how he eased into his new role but mere moments after taking up the crystal, globe, and deck. Yes, I knew at once my reading was true, and that this adventurer was the astrologian I had been seeking. But now, let us see if he has the potential for greatness within him. Back to Ishgard, then. Oh, wait. Were we taking a break, or... Look to the skies, Sorin, and there you will see 6 stars aglow in pale yellow. This is the bowl. Bowl. This constellation is thought to be the gate to the first heaven, the heaven which holds the World Tree. Planted by the matron and nurtured by the keeper, the World Tree is the source from which all life is said to have sprung. The trunk of the World Tree, or the bowl, grants strength to the weak, allowing them to stand firm in the face of adversity. You have now opened that gate, and its power is yours to command. A solid bowl represents a solid foundation. It is not coincidence that this very constellation has risen to mid-heaven at this very moment, the moment of a new astrologian's birth. And to think, I saw all of this a moon ago. It seems I am a better reader of fates than I thought. But I jest. It has been a long journey, with more than its share of unexpected excitement. I am an old man, and one does not need a deck of arcana to see that my weary legs will not carry me much longer. Let us make haste to Ishgard, so that I might give that ungrateful Jeanne Quinard a proper upbraiding. Yes, sir. The bowl blazes into welcome, unlocking the gate to the first heaven. I think this is it. This might be the power that could help me stop things like what happened in Ul'dah, the Waking Sands. The others are probably traveling back to Vest. I think I'm probably best if I keep things quiet and just teleport straight to Ishgard. It's probably not safe to be spending too much time out and about in the rest of Eorzea. Actually, while I think about it, I should probably attune to that shard in the broom. I believe this is the last shard. Oh, yep, there we go. The Alphinaud astrological. Lord Jeanne Quinard? Jeanne Quinard! 15 summers passed, and still the flippant clod I lost half of my hair tutoring. Sending an adventurer to find a man you summoned halfway across Heidelin. Always taking the easy route. And you wonder why you still haven't been able to open the second Heaven's Gate. Allow me to explain, Professor. You see, I was waiting here in case you made it to Ishgard before my manservant Sorin could locate you. Think of the confusion had you arrived here only to find the Alphinaud empty. Wait, how did you know I haven't opened all the gates? My grandfather's the greatest astrologian in all Sharlayan. There's naught he doesn't know unless he doesn't wish to know it. You of all people should know that. Perhaps I was hasty in my decision to remain here and see to your training. Train me? But what of Professor Mace? Isn't that why he made the journey? My grandfather's already completed his task. He simply came to Ishgard out of courtesy to an old pupil, one who it appears he wasted years on. Wasted? What are you implying, my lady? Ah, my dear Levava, you still do not see it, do you? Without Jeanne Quinard stumbling into my tutelage nearly 2 decades past, he never would have taken this adventurer under his wing and sent him to us in his stead. It was all as the stars had planned. Your soul crystal, Professor. This adventurer has stolen your soul of the astrologian. Ever the unobservant, John. If this adventurer had stolen my crystal, Levava would have read upon some terrible fate for the lad. No. Sorin is my successor, something I mistakenly thought you might be. Not even I cannot see every future, it seems. But do not despair, I have not given up on you completely. Despite your failings, you have tried your best to promote the Sharlayan school of astrology here in this den of fools who will fail to see aught and all beyond the Dragon Star. Or, my phone just stopped doing stuff for a moment. Why is my phone stream so, like, 7.5 minutes behind? I wish to see you continue this fight, and that is why I've bade Levava to remain here and further your, and this adventurer's training. Thank you, sir. I see. This is all rather overwhelming. Might I have some time to consider your words? No. You either continue your training with me and your protege, or you crawl back to obscurity. I shall give you both several turns of the sun to study the basics of Scions astrology. It should not be so hard for you, Jeanne Quinard, considering you've had a substantial head start. Once you've committed the basics to memory, then return here. In the meantime, I will be travelling in Eorzea, searching for locations where Sorin, and you, will unlock the remaining Heaven's Gates. But you were only recently set upon by bandits. Perhaps travelling alone so soon is unwise. Don't you think I know that? That is why you will be lending me the services of your able manservant Quimperane. I will? I mean, I will. Yes, of course, Lady Levava. Anything for the granddaughter of Sharlayan's finest professor of astrology. Quimperane, you heard the lady? Very good. I shall see my grandfather to the airship landing now. But rest assured that if you neglect your studies, I will know. Yes, ma'am. Well, Lord Janicard, I guess I'm off to practice and study up on this. I guess my first things first, I should probably stop by the manor and let Alphinaud know that I'll definitely be helping. I just need, even if Alphinaud must be out, just take a bit of time to focus on something myself. Oh, a paladin adventure? Oh, no. Sorin is not a paladin. Sorin is currently an astrologian, formerly a scholar. I had considered making him a paladin at some point, but I'm not quite sure how I would fit it in for him. Because becoming a paladin means first becoming a gladiator, which is not as much something Sorin would be likely to do. But yeah, not my full 2-hour, like normal 2-hour stream, but that will be the end of the stream for tonight. My plan is to spend a little bit of time tonight and then a notable amount of time tomorrow doing some leveling for Sorin, so that on Friday's stream I can hopefully go through the rest of the Astrologian storyline and get him up to level 50. Because once Sorin is level 50, I can then I want to be going through the Heavensward scenario as an astrologian. My plan is I want to do this each expansion. I don't know if it will happen. It kind of depends how I find Sorin reacting to things. I've kind of got an idea for how we might progress through different jobs. But for now, that will be it. So, I hope you enjoyed this start to Heavensward. I apologise again for having the whole opening cutscene be in Japanese. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed a bit. And if you enjoyed, I hope I'll see you again on Friday. Until then, have a nice week.